everyone, welcome back to Leaf Yarns podcast. I have a Phoebe on me. She wants to come up. Here she is. Today is Friday the 16th of November 2018. I'm sorry I didn't record yesterday or the day before. I did put a little clip up to say, you know, I'm sorry I've been poorly and stuff, and so is everyone else in the house. And also my daughter broke her toes, so sorry. Aren't you beautiful? Yes, aren't you beautiful? You see yourself. So I don't have much. Well, I don't have a lot of knitting to show you. I have a finished object and I have a whip, and I've got some sewing, a little bit of stash enhancement, and some spinning to show you. And apparently my puppy Phoebe. Phoebe is half Blue Mel Chihuahua and half Jack Russell, and she is beautiful, aren't you? Yes, yes. So this is the Leaf Yarns podcast, and I've done it in the wrong order, but I'm coming to you from Alvington and Exeter, which is in the southwest of England. So I will crack on and show you things. So you're going to have to get down, darling. Sorry. Go on. Right, so I will start with my finished object. Now, I wasn't expecting to finish these, but they were the first thing that I grabbed when I was, you know, upstairs or whatever. So these are my, I've not woven the top end yet. These are my fairy socks, and the yarn is Wool and Vine Yarns in her fairy colourway. Just a vanilla sock with a shorter heel, so basically a second toe. And yeah, I'm happy I finally have these finished. These were started a long time ago, as a kind of, oh, you know, I wonder what, you know, what to do with them. And originally I was going to make gloves, but I ended up making socks. And by a long time, I mean 6 months. And as you know, I was a bit worried that I didn't have enough yarn to finish them, but I'd weighed the cake and I did, and only just though, because I have this much yarn left. That much is less than a yard. So yeah, but I did it, and I'm very happy with them because it means I've got another pair of socks for me for next year. My aim is to knit a pair of socks for myself every month this year and next year, and I'm going to be doing, if Kristen's doing it, I hope you are, Kristen, Yarngazin, the box of socks for next year as well, because I failed this year miserably, and you know, sort of thought, oh well, next year. So I'm definitely doing it next year. I'm going to do a pair of socks a month for me for next year, so that come New Year's Eve next year I have a box full of beautiful socks for me to wear. And that was in my lovely bag from my friend Sylvie, who's une vie toussante, du plus. Now, Sylvie used to have a video podcast in French and English, and then she just started recording in French, and then she stopped recording altogether, which made me really sad. So Sylvie, if you're watching this, you're missed. So yeah, pair of socks for me. So, whips. Now, last time I recorded, I was doing my sister-in-law socks. Now, they are made of Red Heart Stardust in the purple colourway, which is colour 1530. Now, I'm still on the first ball, but last week I had just finished doing the heel, I think, on the first sock, so that's the first sock done. Now, it's looking very pink, but that's because of the time of day I'm recording. But actually, it's not too far off. That's quite accurate. So that's number 1. And number 2, I am 8 rows away from stopping to do the shorter heel. And I've still got this much, the first ball left. So I reckon I'll get halfway up the leg, maybe a little bit more with this. And then I should go on to the second ball. And yeah, they're very nice to knit with. you know, really would like to try and get some more of this yarn. It may not be luxury, but I like it. It's, you know, it's going to be hard wearing and it's still sparkly. Now, as you know, I love a good sparkle yarn. If you're new to the podcast, hi, I'm addicted to sparkles. Just in yarn. But yes, so those should be done by Wednesday when I normally record. So there we go. So that's all the knitting I have to show you this week. I've not really worked on anything else other than Neve's jumper, and I've cast on Abby's hat, but it's like the cast on, so there's nothing to show you really. I did spend nearly 5 days doing some sewing, which I will show you. So as you know, I've been making Christmas presents, and for Abby I've made a waistcoat. So it's pattern New Look 6914, and I have made option A, this one. Now, yeah, complicated. All I'm going to say, it was very complicated. I had to learn new techniques, like sewing internal seams and from the inside, and then, you know, turning it as it was on the machine and then finishing it off by hand, closing the gap and things like that. And the whole time I was like, is this going to work? Is this going to work? You know, I knew it would because it's written that it should, but I had to have a lot of faith. I enjoyed making the pockets and all sorts. So there was lots of new learning things on this for me. So I made Abby some pyjamas out of this fabric, but here is the waistcoat. So I used it for the fronts, the pockets, and then the belt on the back. So the belt has got one of these, oh, I don't know what they're called, a bar bit, and you can loosen and tighten it. And then the black fabric is cotton sateen, not satin, sateen, which I originally bought for a dress, but I decided that, you know, Abby's worth me using it on her instead. So it's this beautiful mermaid fabric, and it's, I think the fabric's called Sirens. So this one's charcoal sirens, and then these are the pockets. So there's proper functioning pockets. You can put tissues or change or, you know, keys or whatever in them, and there's one on each side. And then it's got a button band on the front, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to get close enough. These buttons are made of sea pebbles, and I bought these from an Etsy shop, and they were just classed as sea buttons, and they come from Scotland. So along the front they go from dark to the lightest, and then I did one a medium shade one on each of the pockets. So yeah, I'm really pleased with how it's turned out. I did all the top stitching, and, you know, I wanted to make it look as beautiful as I could, so that Abby would want to wear it, because I enjoyed having lots of fun making it, and she, you know, likes waistcoats. She doesn't wear them very often, but I just thought a nice fun one, you know, she can wear with jeans or whatever, or going out. It's a bit of fun, you know. So now that's finished, I can wrap it up. So that's all my Abby's sewing presents finished now. Sorry, I've still got a bit of a tickle. So yeah, I do recommend this pattern. It's very easy to follow. I'm sure it would have gone quicker if I hadn't been poorly, or sick, as you guys in America call it, because it's meant that my brain hasn't quite been firing on all cylinders. But I got it done, and it's brilliant, and I love it. So yeah, I will be making another one for myself in different fabric, but not the same. Because Abby's got a longer torso than me, so I'm going to be making one of the shorter ones, so it's about that much shorter all round. But yeah, so fun pattern. The pattern itself I got for about £5 on Amazon. I tend to buy most of my patterns on Amazon now, unless they are an indie, you know, design or whatever. And those I've got behind that plaque there on the thing. Sorry, just a little one, I'm sorry. So I'm going to show you my spinning now. Now it's been a long time since I've shown any actual wheel spinning on the podcast. Phoebe, please don't jump up, I'm about to move stuff. So I am currently spinning on my Kiwi 2 Into the World Blue Face Leicester Tussar Silk 7525, and because I used to be part of their clubs, their fibre clubs, and I would love to be able to do it again when, you know, when I can afford to do it. And I started off with the basic club, and then I joined the Luxe club as well. So this one's the Luxe, which is why it's a blend, and this is the flounce colourway, and it's 4 ounces to 4.3 ounces. So it's, you can't really see it very well in the bag, but it's purples and ecru and blue, but deep blue. So I'm going to very carefully try and lift my wheel to show you. So if I knock the camera and it falls, I do apologise. So, oh yeah, I painted my kiwi. Purple, obviously. So that is what I've done so far. That was just a couple of hours the other day, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. And when I finish doing the singles, because I'm going to do it all as one and then figure out if I want to 2-ply it or Navajo ply it, I'm not sure yet. Likelihood is I'll Navajo ply it because it's quicker. So that's my spinning. What I've been buying recently, I bought some, at the same time that I bought those seed pebble buttons, I asked Abby to help me choose some buttons for her things. Complete blind, like what buttons would you like on things. And she chose these just seashell buttons, very simple, very pretty buttons. And there's 100 in here and it was £6. So I was like, yeah, okay. So I will use these on cardigans or shirts or whatever else I make for Abby in the future. And maybe on a cardigan for Neve or something for me, I'm not sure, but there's enough to go around. They're lovely buttons, and we kind of like the sea, so not in a maritime way, but in a we enjoy going to the beach, and it's kind of romantic in a old-fashioned way, you know. We like walking on the beach and looking at rocks and playing, you know, rock pools and things. So it's all good. I'm a bit embarrassed. So my other acquisition for this week, after seeing my friend Fluffy Fiber's post, I went and had a look at Biotissus, or Biotissus, which is a website that sells organic fabrics, and they are in France, Plusenay, maybe. So I bought organic cotton jersey, and it's absolutely lovely. Now I only got, it is black, it's just bright lights. I got 2 meters because it's very wide. I think it's 160 wide or even wider, but I need to wash it because it smells like factory. Nothing against that, but although the fabric may be organic, yeah, it does smell like factory. It's the only way I can describe it. You know, that sort of new chemically sort of smell that seems to on everything. So when I've washed this is going to be a nice dress for next summer, something nice and floaty. I have a pattern up there already that I can use, but it's not a very, there's not much stretch in this. So although it's a jersey, it's still quite a tight jersey. So I should be making something a bit more form-fitting, and then it'll just breathe with me. and it won't be so tight and restrictive. So yeah, I'm looking forward to sewing this, but I'm going to wait until I have all my other projects that I'm making for everyone else out of the way, because I still have to make 5 knitted items and 2 dresses before Christmas, and I've got 5.5 weeks. Yay! But I reckon I can get there. The dresses I can get done in a week, and that gives me a month to get everything else finished. And they're not big things apart from Neve's jumper, but she's about a size smaller than me, you know, jumper knitting pattern wise. So I will, you know, just sort of say, I'm sorry it's a short podcast. I hope that next week I'll have more to show you, because I won't be as poorly. I will confess that, you know, I'm looking forward to going to bed and going to sleep. So as long as I rest up, I should be able to get a lot of things, you know, started or finished and whatever for next week. I do want to just mention the fact that I still have lots of yarn up in my Etsy shop. I don't quite know how to promote it more than I am on Instagram and Facebook and on here, without having to pay astronomically. So if you guys want to see the yarns, please go to the Leaf Yarns shop on Etsy, and also scroll back through on my Instagram feed. There's lots of yarns that I've dyed on there that are in the shop. And yeah, I will see you all next week. Bye.